This video was produced by the UCD Maths Support Centre in conjunction with the UCD Access Centre. So now we're just going to use these two theorems in a question here. So we're told that the sides of a triangle are 6.1, 7.2, and n, where n is a natural number. So that becomes very important later on. So just a reminder, the natural numbers are the positive whole numbers. So the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on are all the natural numbers. We are asked to find the minimum possible value of n, the maximum or largest possible value of n, and the range of possible values of n. So let's look at this first question. The minimum possible value of n. Well, we know from our triangle inequality theorem that n and the smallest side given, when added together, must be greater than the given larger side. So the smaller of the two sides given is this 6.1. So we need this n and this 6.1 to added together to be bigger than the other side, 7.2. So n plus 6.1 must be bigger than 7.2. If we subtract 6.1 from both sides, we end up getting just n on the left must be bigger than 7.2 minus 6.1, so n has to be bigger than 1.1. But I said it was important at the beginning, n is a natural number. So n has to be one of these numbers up here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. So we can't actually have n being equal to 1.1 because that's a decimal, it's not a natural number. So the minimum value of n then is the next biggest natural number. So the first natural number we had after 1.1 is the number 2. So the minimum value of n is n equal to 2. Next, the second part, the maximum possible value for n. Well, we know, again from our triangle inequality theorem, that the two sides given, when added together, must be greater than n. This means that n must be smaller than the sum of the two sides. So in order for this triangle to actually be a triangle, these two sides added together have to be bigger than this. Or to put that another way, this side has to be smaller than these two added together. So n must be smaller than 7.2 plus 6.1, so n has to be less than 13.3. Again, we are told that n is an element of the natural numbers, so n has to be, our little n has to be equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, or so on, a positive whole number. So if n has to be less than 13.3 and it has to be a whole number that's positive, our n has to be equal to 13 because we can't have this nasty little decimal here because we want it to be a positive whole number. The last part then asks us to give the range of possible values of n. Well, in the first part, we said n has to have a minimum of 2, so that means that n has to be bigger than or equal to 2 for this triangle to work. But in the second part, we said n has a maximum value of 13, so that means n has to be less than or equal to 13. So combining these two inequalities here, n has to be somewhere bigger than 2 but less than 13. So that means the range of possible values for n is given by 2 less than or equal to n less than or equal to 13, where n is a natural number.